Hi guys, welcome back to the comics universe. Although I'm pretty sure I might call it Omniverse or Multiverse, I don't really remember. Have a check it later. And today we'll be going through every single comic book that I own. Simply because I went to Comic Con and I bought quite a few comic books. Some of these I already had, but most of them I kind of bought pretty recently. So I thought, yeah, let's go through them. Let's talk to everybody about my comic books. I want to make it clear that some of these, well, I've read most of these, or some of them will be left out, only because I haven't read them, I won't remember the storyline. I think some of them I've read since I was a kid, because I've had most of these since I was like 10. So without further ado, let's go through all these comic books. First we've got Spawn. I bought it about a few months ago, and Spawn is a pretty interesting comic book. This is issue 1. I'm not obviously going to go through every single issue, but also I don't own every issue of this comic book, sadly. It's a very great comic book. It's like Ghost Rider. He makes a deal with the devil, and, well, he was an assassin. So he was an assassin, and he got killed by his friends, and obviously because when you're an assassin, you've killed innocent people. Because of that, he got sent straight to hell, and yeah, pretty much, he made a deal with this guy called the Violator, funny enough. His name was the Violator, and they ended up sending him back on Earth as a Spawn. He doesn't remember anything of his past life. And that's what I'm going to say, because if I was to tell you the whole storyline, I'd kind of spoil it for you. You know what I mean? Put that up there, I suppose, or somewhere. Next we've got Youngblood. And Youngblood is kind of like Image's Comics' answer to the Avengers. Now, like Spawn, over here, they're part of this company called Image Comics, which came out in the 1990s. It was this guy called Todd McFarlane, which is one of my favourite comic book writers. And he created it after leaving Marvel, and he despises Marvel and DC. And because of that, he made his own kind of comic book, group. I don't know what to call it really. And they kind of spun off. So here we have the Youngblood. This is kind of it's the 8th issue. It's a double-sided issue, as you can see. The front here we've got Barack Obama, who's kind of like putting together the team. We've got, I don't know who he is. I think his name's Shaft. No, that's Badrock, and that's Die Hard. Obviously not as big as Marvel or DC, because I don't know most of these characters, but Youngblood was pretty interesting. Not as interesting as Spawn, but still pretty decent. Then we've got Fantastic Four. In this issue in particular, we have kind of like a lot of things going on here. I know they end up killing some sort of bad guy. You see another bad guy erupting. Yeah, I haven't read much of it at all. I'm not really a fan of the Fantastic Four. Got the Ultimate Fantastic Four, which is pretty awesome. They fight Thanos, pretty much. Well, actually, they fight Rhino the Accuser, but still. Again, not that interesting. Not really a Fantastic Four fan. Then we've got the Infinity. Ooh, yeah, this is a bad one. Pretty much Thanos, again, tries to find a way to gather all the Infinity Stones. Really, really awesome. We see Blue Marvel in this, who's like a black Superman, the way I think about it. And he hasn't been in comic books for ages. I feel so annoyed that they've just left this guy out, because he's really awesome. He's like a major character that's been left out for ages. But yeah, really awesome. I'm pretty sure he's going to return at one point. I really hope so anyway, because Blue Marvel's pretty awesome. But overall, this is about Thanos kind of, again, trying to find a way to take over the world. In this one in particular, in this issue in particular, he is, what's it called? He's discovering information about the Infinity Stones, and he sends this outsider to do it, and then he gets caught, and then, well, yeah. Then we've got, I'm going to bring both of these out. We've got the Cosmic Ghost Rider series. I've got issue 1 and issue 5. I've got issue 5 from Comic Con, and I got this one the moment the issue came out. And they are very, very good. I think the Cosmic Ghost Rider series is very good. To give you a bit of background, pretty much, right, Thanos has won. Well, he is from a time when Thanos has won. He's got his goal. He's killed everybody in the universe. Only Thanos, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Future Thanos is left. So what do? They kind of first fight the Silver Surfer, who has Thor's hammer. That is obviously awesome. And then the Silver Surfer kills Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then Silver Surfer gets killed by Thanos. But anyway, back to more relevance. Anyway, Odin, what he does is he gets Cosmic Ghost Rider, who by the way is from Castle, and he puts him into heaven, or what it's called? Valhalla, that's it. He gets him into Valhalla. Anyway, Cosmic Ghost Rider doesn't really like that. Odin kicks him out of Valhalla, and then, well, we've got Cosmic Ghost Rider in the making. He goes back in time to stop Thanos from being a mass murderer. In this issue, you kind of see it doesn't really work. Instead of becoming, what's it called, a superhero, he becomes, well, he becomes the Punisher, which is a bit weird for Thanos, and kills even more people than he killed, as he was just normal Thanos. X-Men kind of comic book about the Shia invading. The woman's a real cool artist. Guy from the comic book store gave it to me for free, so I took it. And one day it was for free. Marvel Zombies. Oh my gosh. There's so much I can say about this. This is the first issue of season 3 of it. But in the first issue of season 1, which I do have here, pretty much Magneto has set a zombie virus on the universe which targets superhumans. But it targets everybody pretty much. And we get superhero zombies. How cool is that? Then we've got Original Sin. Original Sin is pretty interesting. It's probably one of Marvel's best up-to-date comic books. Well, it happened like 5 years ago. It's one of the first comic books I ever read. I read this in like year 9. I'm pretty sure if like one of you guys from SCP will probably remember me reading this. If not, then, well, I don't really care anyway. But pretty much the Watcher, who's seen everything in the multiverse / universe, gets killed. And what ends up happening is his eye gets blacked out. And well, these eyes have seen everything, remember? So pretty much all the secrets of the Marvel Universe gets revealed. As I go through here, there will be a few comic books that cross over with Original Sin. It is probably one of the biggest events that have happened since, well, in a very long while in Marvel. Then we have the Spirits of Vengeance, which is pretty much a Ghost Rider it's pretty much like a team up between Ghost Rider, Blade, Damien, Hellstorm and Satana. Nothing really much interesting. That's embarrassing. Happened on YouTube. This here is a True Believers issue. There's quite a few of these and I'll go through them because I'm not kind of part of the same thing. And this is the first issue when Spider-Man appeared, when he fought the Fantastic Four. Then here we've got, this is part of the Infinity War saga, not the Infinity Gauntlet. They're two different sagas. It's very confusing. But with this here, Galactus uses Gamora to operate on Infinity, who is pretty much the universe. Very cool, very interesting. Then here, oh my gosh, this is one of those awesome comic books I've ever owned, ever. This here is the Infinity Gauntlet saga. And what happens during this is Thanos has collected all the Infinity Stones and he wipes out half of everything in the universe. This is epic. The whole series in general is epic. I've only got this one, and the one I'll talk about next, but it's like the coolest comic book I've ever read. To think that in this comic book in particular, Thanos was just as powerful as the One Above All. Obviously, not now he was, but he was just so awesome. I don't find what's interesting, if you go on to the next one, the cat Doctor Strange, which I think, wow, like Doctor Strange would have totally won that, but hey. Next here, we've got the battle. You know, in like Infinity War when they kind of fight Thanos, and in Endgame when they kind of fight Thanos, this is where they got it from. And pretty much we see Thanos thrash everybody. There's no way to explain it. He beats everybody, from Thor to Captain America. He dodges the Silver Surfer, which is mad because Silver Surfer is like one of the fastest characters in the Marvel Universe. This is crazy. When I mean the fastest character, by the way, I mean actually faster than the speed of light, not the speed of sound, dudes. Then here we've got another kind of comic book which has the Silver Surfer in it. This is what's it called? Oh, this is when Carnage came back and he bonded with the Silver Surfer, which is pretty awesome. Then we've got Marvel Zombies. I love zombies and I love Marvel Zombies. I explained it to you already, so I'm not really going to explain it to you again, but I just love to show the cover work. I think it's very awesome. Then we've got this is the kind of official debut of Toxin / Agent Venom. Pretty much, yeah, we know that Venom is a symbiote, right? And Venom, how do I say it now? Venom is bonded with Eddie Brock, but then he ends up budding with Flash Thompson. And Flash teaches the Venom symbiote how to become like an actual superhero, and he does become a superhero. But during this issue in particular, a lot happens. Number one, we see Eddie trying to kill Flash Thompson, but also Eddie becomes Toxin, and Toxin is, wow, let's just say a very powerful symbiote. He is, I think he's the 7th he's the seventh Dino symbiote. It's making him like one of the most powerful symbiotes ever. In the most recent kind of comic book series, Absolute Carnage, he is definitely going to play a role in it, no doubt. We're definitely going to see Toxin and Anti-Venom just turn up somehow. There's no way they're not going to. Although maybe not Anti-Venom, because Anti-Venom is technically not a symbiote. But anyway, here we've got the origin story of Eddie Brock. Very, very interesting. If you've watched the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy, the Amazing Spider-Man, you'd have seen, no, not the Amazing Spider-Man, I think it was just called Spider-Man. Yeah, it was just called Spider-Man. But anyway, this is kind of what happens. I think it explains it in more depth, and you definitely see the symbiote in a different light. He is not a villain, he's a hero who just hates Spider-Man. This was a pile of crap, let's get into it. That's the Dark Phoenix saga. This is kind of when Blue Marvel makes his secondary debut. He comes back after like a good few years of being ignored in comic books. This is the prelude to Infinity War, and not really much to say about it. This is the start of the Dark Avengers, which is pretty awesome, by the way. We see Norman Osborn kind of make his own team to fool the world into thinking that the Avengers are still together, and he makes his own fake Avengers, which is pretty awesome. Also, you must think the world must be pretty stupid, because since when did Spider-Man get 4 arms? But anyway, here we see, this is the Ultimate Spider-Man series, one of the favourite Spider-Man series that ever come out. And in this one in particular, the Silver Sable finds out that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of those, because what a waste of time. Now here will be the longest, next one we can pick out, I have the most of, because I'm a big fan of Superior Spider-Man. So, brace yourselves for a lot of Superior Spider-Man. Now, just to get, you know what, yeah, let's do this in order. This is the first set of issues of Superior Spider-Man. And the Superior Spider-Man is pretty much Spider-Man, no, it's Dr. Octavius in Spider-Man's body. They done like a brain swap. Octavius planned it went pretty well. Next thing you know, we've got Dr. Octavius in Spider-Man's body, and Spider-Man is dead. Well, not really, a ghost of Spider-Man still exists within Otto's sack, which stops Otto from going over the top in terms of his superheroes kind of thing, like killing people and all that type of stuff. And, well, yeah, this is kind of just, this one in particular is a mixture between Otto kind of getting used to being in Spider-Man's body, but also we've also seen the return of Jackal, who cloned Spider-Man. Kane is in this, and it's very, very awesome. Kane, by the way, is a clone of Spider-Man, and, well, yeah, I'm not going to go into it, but he's trying to reform himself, because before he was a pretty bad guy, and he killed a lot of people. Anyway, I'm going to put that back down there, because I kind of want the Muffin books back in order. So here we kind of, in this one, he gets attacked by a dream. This is all Superior Spider-Man, I'm going to let you know now. I'll let you know when it goes back to normal Spider-Man. But Otto gets attacked by this dream being thing. And also, is Kane in here? Yes, he is. Kane also gets into this group. Well, he doesn't get into the group, but he kind of does get into this group called the Texas Rangers. Well, just for a short amount of time and he leaves. Here, Superior Spider-Man goes against Cardiac, who's a very awesome villain. He owns this kind of clinic thing. Anyway, during this, he takes this kind of helmet thing, which goes into the psyche of a person to help kind of perform surgery. And Otto performs surgery on himself. Why, you may ask? Well, Otto starts realizing that when he intends to do something, he can't do it. Like, if he intends to kill somebody, he will get stopped somehow. And then he realizes that Spider-Man is still alive, but within his head, his memories are kind of formed like a way of surviving. So he performs a Parker-ectomy and gets rid of Spider-Man. Here we kind of got, does anything go on here? Oh yeah, so we start to see like Green Goblin's still around and he kind of plans to take over New York City. But also we've got Superior Carnage, which is when Kane and Agent Venom team up to go against Carnage. Carnage is in the, what's it called again? Microverse, that's it. And well yeah, all hell breaks loose. In this one, Spider-Man kills, what's his face? Oh no, sorry. In this one, they try to kill Spider-Slayer. They give him the death sentence, and it all goes wrong. In this one, Spider-Man kills Spider-Slayer, and also Kane and Agent Venom defeat, what's his face, Superior Carnage. Agent Venom then kills Carnage. I think it's called Maximum Carnage, not Superior Carnage. Sorry about the mix-up. In this one, anything interesting in particular? Meh. Oh yeah, so in this one, Kane's still involved throughout the whole thing, but in this particular issue, Kane gets involved with Kraven the Hunter. We get to see a pretty much of kind of like a cameo of Ben Reilly, who's another clone for Xerxes' return. But anyway, it turns out it was Kraven the Hunter all alone playing around with Kane. He decides he wants Kane to kill him, which Kane does, and doesn't at the same time. Bit confusing. In this one, we get to see Superior Venom, which is a Venom symbiote bonded to Superior Spider-Man. This also returns Spider-Man because the Venom symbiote still has a bit of Peter Parker's memories. That's why he kind of always gets stuck with that little bit of that, Spider-Man insignia. In this one, this guy completely kicks all the Avengers' asses, which is pretty awesome. Same with this one. This one, Superior Spider-Man finally realizes that Green Goblin's back. Very cool confrontation because kind of Green Goblin knows that it's Dr. Octavius. So when he finds out, you see this kind of old school rivalry between them. This kind of also explains their rivalry and how they became such enemies. Really, very good reads. This one here is now when stuff gets a bit confusing. See, Dr. Octavius has been trying to master time travel. And when he does do this, he gets put into loads of different timelines. And he also finds out that this group of super beings called the Inheritors are finding a way to kill all Spider-Man. Why? Because they're evil. Let's just leave it at that. So anyway, during this, we see him kind of put his group together and they beat Khan of the Inheritors, which is pretty awesome. Then is kind of start of the Spider-Verse issue. This is when, by the way, Spider-Man's back into his normal body, but he still sees the Superior Spider-Man because obviously they're fighting on the same war against the Inheritors. Again, Spider-Girl fights the Inheritors. She loses and Spider-Man from her Earth gets killed. Then this big series here. This is the start of Into the Spider-Verse. Well, this is the start of Spider-Verse. They go against Morlun quite a few times. Overall, they win. Spider-Verse, Spider-Verse, Spider-Verse. This is the 21st anniversary. Kane turns into this really big spider being. Just to add a bit of context into the Spider-Verse, we find out that the key to them winning is Kane, who is the other, Silk, who's the bride, and the Scion, which is Spider-Girl's baby brother. If the Inheritors kill all of them, like if the Inheritors kill Kane, Silk, and the Scion, they kind of all lose. They keep them all. They try to keep them alive. Kane ends up dying but gets resurrected and all that type of crap. Anyway, the last battle, which is when pretty much, well, it's the final battle. They win, as superheroes normally do. In this one, Otto decides that pretty much he doesn't want to die. So what he does is he cuts the strands of the big web, which is kind of like the multiverse in a way, the Spider-Verse, and he tries to do them all. It doesn't work. He gets sent back to his original time. Then we've got the Amazing Spider-Man. In this one in particular, like in the whole entire run, Spider-Man's got this new suit. It's really awesome. In this Amazing Grace, I forgot what happened, so I'm just going to skip them quite a few. Alright, now to one of my favourite storylines. You've got the Dead No More storyline. The Jackal has returned. Well, it's technically Ben Reilly, but spoiler alert, we're going to take that a bit later onto the video. The Jackal has returned and he starts cloning people. He starts cloning Spider-Man's enemies and people that Spider-Man has failed saving. Pretty awesome. The Prowler gets killed and brought back. Electro gets turned into a girl. No, he doesn't get turned into a girl. Sorry, I want to make that clear. In a failed attempt to resurrect Electro, Max Stilley, in the original Electro, loses his powers, and this girl gains his powers. Oh, sorry about that. This one we see Gwen Stacy has come back. As you can see, I've got a variant cover. I was so happy. But anyway, Gwen Stacy comes back and, well, she gets brought back through cloning. And you also find out that, you see the Jackal? He is Ben Reilly. I did not tell you that earlier. And that starts off its own kind of thing. Eventually, it gets toppled, it all fails. Ben Reilly comes back as a Scarlet Spider. Kane tries to kill him. A lot of drama and malarkey. Also want to put out the fact that in Spider-Geddon, which I don't have, it's because of his cloning technology that, the Inheritors come back and destroy the worlds. Anyway, this one here, the Amazing Spider-Man, Hell Hydra. I'm not a Hydra agent, he's a Hydra agent. That there is the Superior Spider-Man. Looks familiar? Yes, I knew you guys would say that. And he's fighting Peter Parker over the Parker Industries, which is technically his. And, well, yeah, that's all I can say. He comes back through the clone conspiracy because, well, those are people who are clones. Anyway, to bring a bit of context to why he's going Hail Hydra, that's because he joins Hydra for a little bit, which is run by Captain America. Drama. And yeah, during this, Parker Industries gets destroyed and Spider-Man gets back to his normal costume. The Green Goblin comes back. And then, Marvel's almost done, we've just got this big pile here to sort out. Well, during these issues, these are all the Scarlet Spiders. And during this, except from that one, during the Scarlet Spider, pretty much, yeah, Ben Reilly's trying to redeem himself because he was a Jackal. He was a bad guy, a very, very bad guy. So anyway, we've got Kane trying to kill him. He tries to save this girl. And he gets a run-in with Death. Everybody loves that woman in the Marvel Universe. Death itself is just an embodiment of death. But she's like, you need to stop dying pretty much. Because you've died 27 times. If you die one more time, you're going to pretty much go to hell. And your soul will never be saved. In these bits here, Kane is trying not to die because he gets set up by Mephisto. He makes a deal with Mephisto. Why the hell our comic book characters keep making deals with Mephisto? Everybody knows it doesn't go well. But anyway, he made a deal with Mephisto and now he's trying to be killed. Well, Mephisto is trying to get him killed one last time. Whew. Okay, I'm going to take a bit of a breather there because we went through a lot there. We've got like... yeah, we've got Wolverine and Deadpool to go through. We've got one Spider-Man and a few singers. We've got Wolverine and Deadpool and Venomverse. Sweet. Okay, and back into play. Here we've got the kind of, I don't know what to call it, but it's kind of like after the Grim Hunt, where Spider-Man gets shot by Kraven the Hunter. The Kraven the Hunter pretends to be Spider-Man for a very long time, and then Spider-Man goes back and beats him. During this, we meet Alyosha, which is Kraven the Hunter's son. He tries to kind of get to know Kraven the Hunter, and he does this by having sex with his mum. Not really the best way to know Kraven the Hunter. And then he tries to beat Spider-Man. Pretty much, then we have this woman here, I forgot her name, but it doesn't matter. She ends up getting Alyosha and Spider-Man to fight. Very cool comic book, one of my favourites. Then we've got the Slingers. The Slingers kind of are also in here as well. They're a bunch of Spider-Man people. Well, they're a bunch of not Spider-Man. Are they Spider-Man? No, they're not Spider-Man. They are kind of, it's hard to explain what they are really. Oh, yeah. They each take up, yeah, Spider-Man's old identities, if that makes sense. No, I'm not going to explain that. In this one, let's see. Oh yeah, Wolverine goes up against the Hulk again during this kind of mastermind plot done by the leader. Very awesome. As you guys can see, in this one, his claws are bone. And that's because during a few issues before this, he had his adamantium claws ripped off him by Magneto. Ooh, brutal. And then we've got more up-to-date comic books again. The Good, the Bad and Ugly